Hey guys, this is going to be a video on how to breed your own superworms from home easily and for very cheap. So what I have here is, I don't have many left in here that are adults right now, just because my guys can't eat the full-size worms. So I actually purchased about 300 of them a couple months ago and kept them in a fine like bran flake kind of stuff that they actually came in. From time to time I would throw in some veggies, see if I can find any of them in here. Here's one. So I mean, they're getting to be a good size. These are like the last of the ones in there, right? So all the other bigger guys have gone into my little containers like this. And these can be kept in room temperature. Just remember, do not let too much moisture build up in here. I mean, they can't climb out if you have a deep enough container, but you can put a lid on it. Just make sure to put lots and lots of holes. Something like this would be fantastic. And then what you want to do when the worms get to be about the size of this guy that I just showed you. So I mean, they could be a little bit bigger. Actually, he could be in there a little longer. But they get to be a good size. Here's the guy in here that was just put in. So these containers, I purchased them from Dollar Tree, $1.25 or $1 if you're in the States. I'm in Canada, but I purchased 10 of them and they fit 12 of them in there. So superworms need to be isolated from each other in order to go into what we call the alien or pupae stage. So here's what that looks like. And what they do is they curl up to like C's. This guy looks like he's wanting to just about pop into the alien stage, but like just like this, and that's when they're going into kind of a dormant stage. And then you will notice that they transition to this. It takes about 14 days. Again, you can leave them in room temperature. The warmer, they seem to do a little bit faster. But I mean, our house temperature is between like 72, 74, and yeah, about 14 days for these guys. So there's a fresh one that's just come out. They're very, very white. And then under here, so just keep them in a dark place. And you can use like a tong or something like that to move the worms, because they can be a little bit nippy, especially the darker ones. So this is what the pupae start to look like. So as you can see, there's sort of you saw what the fresh white ones look like. There's another one there. And then they start to get a little bit more brown, gradually darker and darker and darker until they get to about this. And then I like to sort of remove them when they get dark like that into this little container here, which I check on more frequently as they turn into a beetle. So as you can see, there is actually a beetle in here. So when they first come out, their wings are very, very white. And then within 48 hours, they turn dark. So anyways, this is what they look like just before they're going to turn into that. So as you can see, there's like, these guys are pretty dark, but then these ones, you can start to see around the like long part of the leg there. It looks like it's almost peeling, and that's kind of a sign. They don't look as like jellyish as say this guy here. So anyways, what I do then, I know some people don't like to handle them. It doesn't really bother me to pick up the beetles, but here, just gently, because they're very, very fresh. Just kind of get them to come up on my finger. Okay, there we go. And then this is where I keep the beetles. So I usually just place them right down there on some fresh veggies. So as you can see, there's one that's not quite black yet, but it's getting there, darker. But usually when they first hatch out, they hide out around where the water source is and the food. So yeah, make sure to replenish new food for them. There's also some crushed up like corn, lentils, wheat bran, oats, some cat food, that kind of stuff in there too, some egg cartons for them. There's probably some eggs under here now hiding. Anyways, you get the gist of it. And so there he goes. See, he's climbing up on the lettuce there, so he'll hang out there. You can see a bunch of them kind of under the pieces of lettuce as well. There's the guy under here. Right, and I can see another one down there. I think there's about 9 beetles in here now. So they will start to lay eggs in here and in the cartons. So in about say 4 to 6 weeks, you'll want to remove all the beetles and put them into a new setup like this, a clean, fresh one. And then leave this, close it up. I find that these are easy because you can just do the drawer layer. So the bottom below, you do the same setup and move all your beetles down there, and then give time for these eggs to hatch out and grow, because the beetles will feed on the tiny worms. So that will maximize your potential for getting the most worms if you remove the beetles. And then, sorry, just in here I got the cricket water Fluckers ones that have the calcium, but you can just add calcium into your gut load blend. And I actually just learned that you can buy the big bags of water crystals from like Home Depot and garden center stores that are a lot cheaper, and it's the same thing. They just a polymer that's non-toxic. Just make sure it's non-toxic and there's no like added dyes or anything to it if it's a colored one. But just prepare it in a thing of water, let them absorb water, and always make sure they have a water source and fresh food. The fruits and veggies will also act as a water source for them, but just because, if your house is dry, the fruits and veggies tend to dry out a bit faster. So these, if you aren't as quick to get to your veggies, it's always good for them to have this source of food. And again, they have the dry source too. So that is how you breed superworms. If anyone have any questions, please comment or send me a message. And don't forget to like and subscribe, as I will be doing other videos on how to breed your own feeder insects from home. All right, take care, guys. Thanks for watching.